their children.
That's right. Right.
And my name is Darlena Smith. I'm a parent of a student at Maria Saucedo Elementary School. I'm an LSC member.
Right.
I stand here with pencils on my shoulders, and they're all lined up against me. They show that each child that opted out from the ISAP test, we have pencils so they can be recognized because they're not here. I'm going to start introducing the teachers. One by one. I need Ann Drummond. She's going to come speak. Good afternoon, everybody. Excuse me, I'm a little hoarse today, so you have to bear with me. My name is Ann Cross. I'm a teacher at a CPS Montessori school. I have refused to administer the ISAT because I want to teach. I am also the mother of a CPS third grader who's not taking the ISAT. Now, Maria Montessori's philosophy of education is often summarized in one sentence, and that is follow the child. I have chosen to follow the child instead of follow the rules. I have chosen to follow the child instead of following data, because our number one job is to respond to the needs of our children. Now, I have to point out I'm not representing the views of every single teacher and parent at my school. But when the opt-out letters started flooding in the first day of ISAT, I felt vindicated because by the first day, we had 2/3 of our students not sitting for the exam. And at this point in time, we have 73% of our students not taking the ISAT. So we have rooms with only 3 children testing, and then we have holding pens, is what I'm calling them. We have these holding rooms where the rest of us are with the boycotting teachers or with the opted out students. And I can confidently say they told me that I was only supposed to supervise silent reading, and I have been teaching. And I'm going to tell you how. So the students and I have to hide in the trenches in the library behind some tall bookshelves reading stories about Cesar Chavez, Rosa Parks, and other law-breaking heroes. And one of my students stands guard watching to make sure no administrator catches us teaching and learning. Now, why am I taking a stand to refuse to administer this test? Why the ISAT, this corpse of a test? Why this test? Because this is not about the ISAT. If this was just about a meaningless test, then ask yourselves why CPS is going ballistic about parents opting out and teachers boycotting. We are watching them fall apart and have temper tantrums right before our eyes. So I'm going to give you a history lesson because I'm not allowed to teach in the day, but I'm going to teach right now. Standardized testing like IQ tests came out of the eugenics movement. These were the people, and they believed intelligence was genetic and that whites were biologically superior. And standardized tests rarely improve teaching and learning. They sort and they rank children into first and second class citizens, and this is not right. As second class. And these tests are still being used in the way that people are profiting off of our children. Schools are being shut down based on performance. Teachers are under scrutiny. Teachers fear for their lives. Children live in fear that they're not going to get promoted, that they're not going to get a selective enrollment school. This is wrong. Go ahead. Michelle Alexander wrote a book called The New Jim Crow. And she talks about prisons in our country and the societal repression of African American men in particular. And the push for more and more high-stakes tests is another piece of this new Jim Crow. It's a link in the chain of the school to prison pipeline. Go ahead. I'm going to wrap up. I know I'm long-winded, but follow the child also means paying attention to how children and the schools they attend are tracked based on these tests. paying attention to which children are ending up in prison, which children have their schools shut down. These tests have a disproportionate impact on black and brown communities. We have to follow the child.
Go ahead.
Now I'm going to wrap up here. I'm reading the mission statements from all of these elite private schools where Rahm Emanuel and Sidwell Friends, where that's the school where Obama sends his kids. And nowhere do you see that they are taking these Common Core aligned tests, because these are wrong and they know they're wrong. So we need to rise up and take back our schools. We need to listen to the great thinkers in education. You never heard John Dewey, you never heard Maria Montessori or Paulo Freire talk about standardized testing as if that is good practice, because it's not. We need to listen to children and our parents and our communities and take back our schools. Thank you. Okay. Let's keep it moving, people. We are here for no retaliation, right? My next parent is Sharice McDaniel from McNear.
Hey,
Hi, my name is Sharice McDaniel, and I have a child at George Muneer Elementary and Lincoln Park High School. I'm here today in support of the teachers boycotting the ISAT test. I'm also here to say, stop the intimidation on parents and students who have opted out. No retaliation against the teachers. I made an informed moral decision to opt my son out of ISAT. Why are the teachers being punished? Does the board think that African American and Hispanic parents are not capable of making decisions for their own children? Don't let them insult you. I don't need the mayor or anyone on his payroll telling me how to raise my child. Barbara Byrd-Bennett said time again, letter after letter, that CPS would not use the ISAT test any longer, that parents had the option to opt out. And yet, we've come to this day.
Right.
My children's teacher and I have a job to do, and that's educate my child and improve our schools with what little funds we do have. I'm very cautious now about testing and the over-testing and who's getting that information and who's using that data and how they're using that data. I have to protect my child.
Right.
And with all the testing going on, who's learning?
That's right.
Let the teachers teach and let the children learn. No retaliation. No retaliation against those teachers.
That's right, no retaliation. We're going to call our next parent from Salcedo, Sandra Posadas. She's a teacher and a parent. POSADAS.
Hey, I am here and I am boycotting the ISAT as a third grade bilingual teacher. As an early childhood educator, I believe the students, my bilingual third grade students, are already over-tested. Benchmark, Reach, NWEA, Access, ISAT, the little ones, Symbols, and the other one. These standardized tests are tests that set the students up for failures because of their limited English proficiency. It does not measure how brilliant or articulate that they are. It sets them up for failure, and it only marks their limited English comprehension. ISAT does not count for achievement or growth. Funding is not. It is not. Let me reiterate. It is not being lost.
That's right.
Or withheld. The ISAT has taken time away from instruction, so I'm taking that time back. I am teaching in the classroom. I am in a holding cell, but I am teaching, and I am teaching about this. When was it a crime just once to teach? I got into this profession because I wanted to teach. I wanted to impart knowledge. Let me impart knowledge. Don't penalize me or my coworkers for wanting to teach. Thank you.
Okay, our next speaker will be one of my teachers from Salcedo, who is very strong, and this is why we are all uniting. Sarah Chambers.
I am also a boycotting amazing teacher, and I want to thank you so much. The support from around the city, around the country has been overwhelming. I want to start by saying thank you. We are here today because we want to teach. We love our children. That is why we got into teaching. And I'm going to tell you right now, these past week, I've been teaching. They tried to stop me. They took my students away. My special education students that have legally required minutes, they took them away. And I had to buzz the office and say, this is their legal mandate. Their mother would not be pleased. You better send that kid to my class. I got my kids back. And I'm teaching them about civil disobedience, about Gandhi, about Rosa Parks. And I'm their graphic organizer for the connection piece. Almost every single one connected it to their teachers boycotting. Teachers, we have been following the rules for too long. Where has following the rules gotten us? We have hundreds of school closures, massive layoffs, budget cuts. My school lost $800,000 in 1 year. That's where following the rules has gotten us. And this is why we are doing the civil disobedience. This is the only way that the teachers, that the parents, that the students can have an impact on their education. Because we know the Board of Education, we're not one parent sits, not one teacher sits. They're not listening to us. And until we get that elected school board, they will continue to not listen to us. So we need to continue to break the rules. So what is the Board of Education doing right now under Rahm Emanuel? They're doing what Rahm Emanuel knows best. They're bullying us. They're bullying the teachers. They're bullying the parents. They're bullying the students right now as we speak. With the teachers, they're threatening to take away our teaching licenses because we want to teach. With parents, they're calling them, at Saucedo Academy, they're calling them every single day, sending letters home, harassing them. They're saying that their child could be expelled from the school. They're harassing our parents. And guess what? They're not doing that at schools like Drummond when there's majority white parents. No, they're doing that at schools like Saucedo, like Adams, where there are black and Latino parents, not where there are white parents. They're trying to manipulate the parents because CPS is racist. We know that. They're bullying the students. On day one of testing, the opt-out students did not receive breakfast, but the testing students received breakfast. At a school where 95% of the students are below poverty level and do not eat breakfast at home. Second day, teachers complained, told parents, we got breakfast. The network people at our schools are bullying the students. Our students, even in testing rooms, are saying they're intimidated by these network people. They're slamming doors. They're scaring them. We don't even know if they're certified to be there testing. CPS tactics are to bully, but let's be very clear. Are we intimidated right now?
No!
Are we scared?
No!
Are we going to fight back?
Yes!
They are scared because they are cowards. Only cowards bully like that. They are scared of the movement that we have brought with teachers, parents, students united together. And after this, they don't know what we're going after next. Because we'll be after that Board of Education to get an elected school board and after Rahm Emanuel. Thank you.
Elect the school board. We do need to elect the school board. We have one more parent, the last parent, so we have to save the best for last. Joanna Marvell Cano from Prisker Elementary School.
My name is Joanna Maravilla Cano, and not only am I a student, but I'm also a wife, but most importantly, I'm a parent here today. 5 years ago, when my husband and I began looking for a Chicago public school, we submitted 12 applications to various networks. Pritzker was the only school that accepted our daughter, and although it is over 30 minutes north from us, we felt sending her there was the best decision we had made for her education. Since then, our daughter has had a very positive experience at Pritzker. The teachers have been very attentive, and the sense of community by our other parents and students has been impeccable. Not once have we considered taking her anywhere else. However, we never thought that we would be treated or threatened or made feel as othered by our school principal, Dr. Reese, because of exercising our right to opt our daughter of taking the ISAT exam, a test that we feel and that studies have shown is useless to a child's overall academic growth. We never imagined that the principal would take the extra measures she decided to take on during ISAT testing. She sent our children into the music room where herself, the assistant principal, and school counselor have been overlooking our opted out children, forcing them to write their name and room number on an ISAT booklet and making them break the seal, all while telling them to do so because it's the law. In particular, we never imagined that she would exhort our children to take a survey without our consent, a survey that put our daughter and other children in a confusing and stressful situation. Should they listen to the authority figure in their school, or should they listen to their parents that only have the best intentions for them? When several of us parents approached Dr. Reese about our concerns, her response to us was, "I can give students any kind of survey I want. This is the way I am choosing to do my job. If you don't agree with it, you can take your child out of school while the test is being administered." My husband and I were baffled by her response to our concerns, as we never imagined she would choose to be so intimidating to us. It is because of this that I stand in solidarity with all parents and teachers and students here today, because no principal or administrator within CPS has the right to bully, threaten, or make us feel inferior to them. As human beings, we have the right to vocalize our concerns, as it is our job to care for our children and steer them away from anything we find dangerous to their well-being. Therefore, I commend everyone here today for standing up for our rights and for letting our voices be heard. Thank you, y que viva la causa.
CPS, Mayor Rahm Emanuel, I hope you have heard the demands of the parents and the teachers. We hope that there is no retaliation on our families, because we are families. There is a lot more to come. All this week we will be from neighborhood, school to school. Thursday, we will make sure you will see these same faces and new ones at Oscar the Priest Elementary School, marching to another school, Emmett, that was closed down last year due to CPS and Mayor Rahm Emanuel. We are going to let you know when election time comes. Remember, March 18th is coming. The state reps that did not help us, the city councils that did not help us, we are going to use our voting power to get you out. I am a parent, and I am standing with my teachers. Your time is up, regardless of how much money you've made off our children's head, and you can put into your war chest, because that's what you're building for your election campaign. You are not for our people, you are not for our communities, and the people here are going to walk these streets and let you know that these are our children, our schools, and we're taking them back. Thank you. The pledge, we're going to walk. My three parents are going to walk this letter. If they let them in, a pledge to the parents, students, and teachers of Chicago. I pledge to respect parents' rights to opt out of testing. I pledge to treat all students equally and not tolerate any more punishment against children who did not take the ISAT. I pledge to respect teachers' right to free speech and their actions to stand against the misuse of standardized testings. No teachers should be disciplined for teaching, right? Right. This is for CPS, Teresa Felicia, Chief of Network 7. We're going to hope this young lady comes out and sign this, because everyone's head is about to roll. All right.
Okay, I'm following behind.
Teresa, sign the pledge. 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 Let's see if they let us in.
Okay, there's nobody here to receive it. That's our girl over there. I know that. She's in there. Teresa. She's in there. She's in there. That girl was at our school. We are parents. All we're asking is her. Let's jump in. 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 You can't sign it. Alright, and let's come down. Let's jump in. Hey, they're parents. Everyone's jump in. We really want to speak. There will be no retaliation against those teachers, and they will respect parents' choice. Teresa signed the pledge. Teresa signed the pledge. She should be able to face Teresa signed the pledge. She should be able to come out and face it. She did this. CPS did this. They should come and face it. Teresa signed the pledge. Teresa signed the pledge. Teresa signed the pledge. Teresa signed the pledge.
In the city of Chicago.
Teresa signed the pledge. Teresa signed the pledge. Teresa signed the pledge. Teresa signed the pledge. Teresa signed the pledge.
Can I see that pledge?
All right.